Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name's Robin and today we're going to start a reading vlog. There are 10 days left in the month of May and I am right now in the middle of 7 books and my TBR for the month is already in the bin. Not very many of those books were on my TBR, so I thought why not make it a bit fun and see how much we can read before the month of May is over. I've got 2 spinner wheels. The first one has got all of the books that I'm currently partway through, and the second one has got stick or twist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this one to choose which book I'm starting with, and then every day for the rest of the month, I'm going to spin the stick or twist wheel to determine whether I continue with the book that I started the previous day, or if I choose a different book to pick up for that day. And if I finish a book, then I'll spin the book wheel for another book. So hopefully that'll just add a little bit of interest to reading, and also I've got ADHD, so I'm not very good at sticking to one thing for a really long period of time, so hopefully we get a couple of twists in there and we can keep focused for as long as possible. I'll put a little graphic up here of all the books that I've already started that will be continuing for this vlog, but I'm just going to briefly go over them now. So we've got The Maiden and Her Monster by Maddie Martinez, which is a fantasy based on Jewish folklore. I'm just going to give you a really brief synopsis here, and as we pick up the books I'll talk about them a little bit more. The second book is Darkened Magic by Haven Price, and that is a fantasy, it's an urban fantasy about a magician who is commissioned to find someone an assassin wants to kill, and it turns out that the person that she's been asked to find is actually her ex-boyfriend. The third one is Onyx Storm. I'm sure nothing really needs to be said about this. It's the third book in the 4th Wing series. I am really having a hard time with this. I've been 50% through for like 6 weeks at this point. So yeah, hopefully this will help motivate me to actually pick it up again. Then we've got Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case, which is sort of a festive murder mystery. I understand that it's May, I know. But yeah, it's like a festive murder mystery, and I'm doing that one on audio. Then we've got Trial of the Sun Queen, which I'm immersion reading. I started it on audio and then I thought I'd lock in a bit better if I had the physical book as well. So I've now got both, and I'm enjoying that. That's about sort of a second world fantasy where someone who is living in a prison is taken to take part in these trials to find the next Sun Queen. Then we've got Homecoming, which is a mystery, sort of historical mystery by Kate Morton, and that is, there's 2 timelines, one present day and one in the 1950s. And in the 1950s, there's been a murder of a whole family. And we're following sort of the story of the investigation and then the story of our character in the present day. And I assume at some point they will intersect. We haven't got there yet. And then the 7th book, which I just started last night because, you know, I didn't have enough going on, is Shield of Sparrows by Devney Perry. And this is a fantasy book about a princess. And her sister was supposed to be the one to go and marry the prince from a different kingdom, and the prince comes to her kingdom and he's like, no, that one, and he chooses her instead, and she has to go to this other kingdom. And that's as far as I've got. I'm about 10% in. So those are our 7 books. So I think what we're going to do now is just spin for book number 1 and see what we're going to be reading today. Okay, so I've got the wheel here on my laptop and I'm going to click to spin. Okay, so today we're going to focus on reading The Maiden and Her Monster. I am going to the theatre tonight and I'm working today, so I'm not quite sure how much time I'm going to have for reading, but I will update you later on and let you know how much I got done. Good morning. It is now Sunday morning. I didn't do a catch-up clip yesterday because I was out. I was at the theatre all day. I have put some little clips in of that. And we actually went to the theatre on Friday as well. We went to see Little Shop of Horrors on Friday, and we went to see Midsummer Murders on stage yesterday. And Midsummer Murders is like a massive special interest for me. I absolutely love it. I used to watch it with my grandma when I was a kid, so that was really exciting for me. But it was a little bit much, and I am having a high pain day today, and I was quite wobbly yesterday as well. So I'm just gonna have a rest day today, which means I've got the whole day to read. I did spin the wheel yesterday for Stick or Twist. I'll put a clip in here so you can see. And it came up with Stick. So I continued with The Maiden and Her Monster. I read 35 pages of that on Friday, and I read 40 pages yesterday. So a decent chunk, but if we get another Stick today, then I'll probably finish it today. But we shall see. We'll see what the wheel dictates. I don't know if I told you what it's about actually. So this is the book. The Maiden and Her Monster by Maddie Martinez. This is a debut, and it's based on Jewish folklore, which is really interesting. And we're following the main character of Malka, who is the village healer's daughter. And basically, like 5 years ago, the forest next to the village became evil, and there's now loads of monsters in it. And if there's any women out after dark, then they get attacked by the monsters and killed. And Malka's best friend was one of these women who was gone missing because she went into the forest late at night. And this religious order comes to the village to collect tithes, but they can't pay the tithes, so the religious order stays until they can. And one of the members of the religious order is then killed by the forest, and Malka's mother is accused of this murder. So Malka says, okay, I will go into the forest and I'll bring you back the monster to prove that there is one. So that's where we're at with that. So I'm going to spin the Stick or Twist wheel right now. I've got it here. So I'll hold it up for you so you can see. Yeah, there it is. So let's see what we get today. And okay, cool. We're sticking. So I'm probably going to finish this book today, and then we will spin the book wheel again tomorrow and see what comes up on that. But I'll give you an update when I get to the end. Hello. So I have finished The Maiden and Her Monster. Here it is with the dust jacket back on. I did not love this. I did skim the last few pages. I think it reads like a debut, which is fine because it is one. But yeah, I struggled to feel sort of connected to the characters and gripped by the story. I thought the link to Jewish folklore was really interesting, and I probably will do some sort of research into the reality of that and sort of Jewish history and folklore, because that was really interesting. I thought parts of it were extremely overwritten. There was one paragraph where there was like 4 different similes in the one paragraph. And I just thought, like, girl, you can sometimes just say what you're trying to say. You don't have to steep everything in 17 layers of simile and metaphor. It's distracting. The second half was better than the first half, so I enjoyed that more because there was more going on, so there wasn't as much space for sort of description and simile and all that kind of thing. So I did enjoy the second half more. But yeah, it is a debut. It reads like a debut. I didn't hate it, but I also didn't love it. She does have another book coming out in February next year, which is a sapphic retelling of The Phantom of the Opera, and I am a theatre kid. So I'm like, maybe I give that one a go, because I will never like write off an author from just one book. I'm like, I'm always going to give them another chance. So maybe I'll get that, see how I enjoy that, and then maybe that'll be the book for me from this author. But this one was very mid. It wasn't a favourite. I have spun the wheel again in case I want to do some more reading tonight, or if not, this will be my book for tomorrow. But it came up with, I'll put the clip in here, it came up as The Trial of the Sun Queen, which is this one. I'm doing this as an immersion read, but basically it's about, hang on, I'm just going to check what it says on the back so I'm not spoiling anything. Okay, yeah, it's about this girl called Law who is imprisoned since she was a child. She's been in this prison with her brother and sister, and then she gets taken from the prison and taken to be part of trials to become the Sun Queen, shockingly. And she's the only one who's not sort of an aristocrat who's part of this trial. Everyone else has been raised for this specific thing, and they're already prepared for it, and she's just not. She's just trying to like work out what's going on, why she's here. And then you also get another POV from like the prince of the place that she comes from, and he's sort of trying to figure out a mystery of like who she is, because his dad knows but he won't tell him. I'm really enjoying this. It's pretty interesting. And because I'm doing it as an immersion read, I'm getting through it pretty quick. I'm on page 270 right now, and there's only 86 pages in it. So if I pick it up tonight, I might finish it tonight, in which case I'll spin for another book tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll definitely finish it tomorrow. So I will check in with you then. But I am really enjoying this one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. Also, today was my first read outside day of the year, which I was thrilled about because I love reading outside. This is the first time that I've done it in this house as well, because we've only lived here a year. But it did make me realise I need to like do some work on the yard and make it a relaxing place to sit. So that might be my summer project. We shall see. But yeah, I hope everyone's had a great weekend and has some relaxing plans for the bank holiday tomorrow. And I'll check in with you again then. Good morning, friends. We're updating from the kitchen this morning, spicing it up a bit. Sorry if you can hear the washing machine, but you know how it is. Got to do the washing on a bank holiday. It's bank holiday Monday. I am working today. I am furious about it. Sending love to anyone else that has to work when everyone else is in a beer garden. I know it's shit. It sucks. But, just got to get through it. And then at 5 o'clock, I'm going to go outside and I'm going to read again. I finished Trial of the Sun Queen last night. I enjoyed it. I thought the ending was a bit confusing. Like I wasn't quite sure what was going on. So there was a reveal, but it was a bit unclear if she already knew the information or if this was like a reveal for her as well. But I've got the second one, so I'm probably not going to jump into it in June because my TBR for June is stacked already. So I'm probably going to save that for July, and I'll read that in July. Then I did spin the wheel again, but it was after midnight, so I'm calling this like today's focus, is Darkened Magic by Haven Price. I love Haven Price's writing style. I just eat it up. Like it's so propulsive. So I'm about 70% through that. I think maybe 75. So I probably will finish that today. I finished 2 books yesterday. I finished The Maiden and Her Monster and Trial of the Sun Queen. And I'm probably going to finish Darkened Magic today. So we're getting through this list. We're getting through it. This is the stick or twist is working. Also, I have decided to take Onyx Storm off the list because I was thinking about it and I just don't want to read it at all. And I'm not going to force myself to read something that I just don't want to read. So I've taken it off. And that is going to be a DNF for now. I might pick it. Well, I will probably pick it up again before book 4 comes out because I do want to finish out the series, but I don't want to read that book currently. So yeah, I'm taking it off the list. I'm marking it as a DNF. We're done with that. So we're going to do Darkened Magic today in our breaks and after work. And then I'll check in with you later on and let you know how I got on. I hope you have a fantastic bank holiday Monday if you are getting it. And if you're not, I hope work isn't too terrible. Good morning. It is Tuesday morning. I finished Darkened Magic yesterday. I loved it. I thought it was great. I love Haven Price's writing style. I really like the character of Vivian Foxworthy. She's just so damaged. She makes bad choices, she does bad things, but you kind of get it because she's just so real. She's such a deep character, and I absolutely love her for that. I want to be her best friend. I think she's great. I don't know if I told you what this one's about. Basically, it's about a magician called Vivian Foxworthy, and she meets this guy in a bar. And this guy is like, I need you to help me find someone. I'll pay you a lot of money to do that. And she's like, okay, cool. That's kind of like a thing that I do, so sure. And then the person that he wants her to find turns out to be her ex-boyfriend. And it all sort of goes from there. It's a really twisty plot. I just loved it. I thought it was fantastic. I'll put the cover up here because I read it on Kindle, so I don't have it. So yeah, that was yesterday, and then I spun for another book, and the book that came up was Homecoming by Kate Morton, which I'm reading right now. It's a historical fiction sort of mystery, so it's a dual timeline. We've got one timeline is we're following Jess, and she is going back to Australia because her grandma who raised her has been taken ill, and she's going back to sort of see her. And in the other timeline, we've got a murder that's happened, but we don't know what's going on. We haven't had very much of that timeline yet, so I think we'll probably get more as we get further through, but I will keep you updated as we go. So yeah, I'll put the spinner wheel in of Homecoming coming up there. And then this morning, I spun the wheel for a stick or twist, and we got a stick. So I'm going to read some more of Homecoming today, see how far I can get with it. It's a long book. It's like about 600 something pages, and I'm about 20% in right now, and I am working today, so I don't know how much reading I'll get done, but I will update you later on and let you know how far I get. I've just got back from the office. I had to go in today to deliver a session to some new colleagues. So I've just got back. I haven't read anything yet today. Going to the office always knackers me out. So I don't know how much reading I'll get done today, but I'll probably have a little bit of a relax and read later on. I spun the stick or twist wheel on my way in this morning, and it came up as twist. And then I spun the book wheel, and it first landed on Homecoming, and I wouldn't mind continuing to read that because I am enjoying it now. But I don't think that's really in the spirit of the game. So I spun it again, and it came up as Shield of Sparrows. So that's what we're going to be reading today. I read about 120 pages of Homecoming yesterday. Like I said, I'm enjoying it more now. I feel like we've got a bit more into the story, and we're getting a bit more of the past timeline where the murders happened, and we're getting like a bit more of that mystery. And we've also found out what the connection is between the past timeline and the present timeline. I feel like if I'd had my brain switched on, I probably could have figured it out before now, but I didn't. But yeah, I am enjoying that. I'm about 30% through now, I think. But today's book is going to be Shield of Sparrows, and I'm 10% through that. So we'll see how far we get for the rest of the day, and I'll let you know how I get on. Good morning. It is Thursday. I can't remember the date. I think it might be the 29th. No, it must be the 28th. It's Thursday the 28th. I spun the stick or twist wheel this morning. We got a twist, and then I spun the book wheel, and we got Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case, which is the book that I'm currently reading on audio, which is perfect because either I'll finish that during work today, or if I don't get a chance to do that, then I'll read it after work and do a craft at the same time. So that sounds great to me. I was reading Shield of Sparrows yesterday. I'm absolutely loving it. It's ages since I was this like gripped by a book. I'm loving the writing style. I really like the main character. And also the guy that I assume is going to be the love interest. I really like him as well. So I'm 30% into that now. And I'm excited to continue, but today's book is Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case. I've listened to a couple of hours of this so far. I'm finding the main character quite annoying because she's like a princess. I don't know if she's a princess. She's like the daughter of the main elf at the North Pole, and she just keeps going on about it and how like powerful she is and how she's like this really important person. And I'm like, oh, just shut up. Just like, you're not there right now, you're in the human world and you're trying to solve this crime, so just focus on the matter at hand, you know. But yeah, so today's plan, I'm going to clean the kitchen because it is dire straits in here right now. Then I'm going to log on to work in about half an hour, and then I will get some audiobook done and I'll let you know how I get on with that. I've started doing the spinner wheels just on my phone and inserting the screen recording because it's a bit easier than holding up my laptop. And I was a bit concerned at first. I was like, what if people think I'm cheating? But realistically, if I was going to do that, I would just make a different video. So it's not that deep. But yeah, I hope you have a great day and I will check in with you later on. Good morning. It's Friday. Thank the Lord. I started reading... No, I didn't start reading it. I'd already started. But I picked up Miss Frost Solves a Cold Case yesterday. And I very swiftly realised that this is not like a brain-on book. It's not a book that I'm going to sit and craft and listen to. It's more of like I'm ready to go to sleep, I'm going to put something on to help me relax kind of book. So it's not a DNF, but it's a not for this video book. So I've taken that off the wheel. I spun the wheel again yesterday and I got Homecoming and I made a decent progress in that. I'm really enjoying it. I'm really intrigued by what's going on. I've got a theory for how the twist is going to go, so I'll let you know if I was correct. I'm not going to tell you what my theory is, but I'll tell you if I was right or not when I get to the end. And we've got today, tomorrow and Sunday until the end of the month. So I do think I can probably finish Homecoming and Shield of Sparrows across those 3 days. I've spun the wheel this morning and it came up as Shield of Sparrows, so that's what we're going to be reading today. I'm loving that one as well. Both of the books that I'm reading at the moment I'm really, really gripped by, and that's just a really nice feeling because it's been a little while since I've had a book like that. So yeah, I'm reading Shield of Sparrows right now, and I'm working today, but when I finish, that's what I'll be doing this evening, and I'll check in with you probably in the morning and let you know where we're at. I hope you have a great day. Hello. It is Saturday morning, so there are 2 days left of my Stick or Twist challenge, today and tomorrow. I read about 100 pages of Shield of Sparrows yesterday. I'm really loving both Shield of Sparrows and Homecoming. They're both really gripping, so I'm really excited to finish both of them. I think if I spin the wheel and I get Homecoming today, I probably will finish that today. Shield of Sparrows, I'm just over halfway through, so I might not get through that till tomorrow. But I'm dressed in my scruffs right now because I'm going to go outside and do some gardening. I pulled all of the weeds. We've got 2 raised beds in the yard that the previous owners of the house left. And I pulled all the weeds out of the first one yesterday and pruned back 2 of the plants. Do you want to see? I'll just take you outside and show you. So this is our little raised bed area. This is the one that I cleared yesterday. And this is a honeysuckle, which I've cut back. And that is a yellow something, jasmine. And I've taken all this ivy stuff was in all along here. So I've taken all that out. And I'm going to do this one today and try and get that cleared as well. So that's the plan for this morning. And then this afternoon, I'm going to get some reading done and I will update you as I go. Guys, I finished Shield of Sparrows last night. I stayed up to finish it. Well, I'm saying I stayed up to finish it. I'm not like an early sleeper, so a 1:30 sleep time is not that unusual for me, but like I did stay up on purpose to finish it. And let me tell you, I have never been so stressed reading a book in my life. It was phenomenal. It was an incredible read. But there were so many times throughout the book, and we've got like, it's a first person point of view from our female main character. So you know she's not going to die because she's telling the story. But there were still times when I was like genuinely scared for her life. And I was like, oh my God, she's going to die. She's not, obviously. But the tension was just amazing. I loved the romance. It was like a true slow burn. There was nothing until like nearly 500 pages in. And this is where it really like blurs the lines between fantasy and romantasy for me, because this was so plot heavy. There was so much like politics and things going on in the world and world building and all that kind of thing. And the romance was kind of secondary. So I'm like, is that romantasy? I'm not convinced that it is. I would call this fantasy personally. But yeah, I finished that last night. I can't believe how many books I've got through this week. Like, considering I started with 7 on the wheel that I was partway through, and I've finished or DNF'd 6 of them. I've just got 1 left, which I'm going to finish today. And then that's the whole challenge complete, and I'm going into June with a clean slate, which is pretty cool. I do have to edit this video today, which I'm not very excited about, because what I could have done, like a person of sound mind, is edit as I went. So record the clips and then edit those clips on that day. I did not do that. So now I've got to edit the whole thing today. And I don't know if it's going to go up tonight or tomorrow. It depends when I finish my last book. But that's the plan for today. I'm not doing anything else. This is a relax, read, and apparently edit video day. So yeah, I'll check in when I finish home. I'm obviously not going to spin the wheel because I've only got 1 book left. So the final book is Homecoming by Kate Morton, and I'll check in when I finish that. It is about 11:15 on the 31st of May, and I have finished Homecoming. So that means I'm going into June with nothing carried over. Everything from this week is complete. So I'll put a little graphic up here of what it is that I've completed this week, but I'm dead chuffed with myself. I didn't think that I would finish everything, to be honest, so I'm really pleased that I have. And it's been a really good sort of 10 days of reading. And doing the stick or twist challenge has really helped motivate me and keep on track. So it's definitely something that I'll do again. We're going into June tomorrow, and I will be picking up my first read for the Tarot Readathon, which I'm taking part in. This is my first ever readathon. I do plan to vlog it, so stick around, subscribe if you want to see that. And if you've enjoyed this video, drop me a like and a comment and let me know, is this something that you've ever done, or is it something that you would give a go in the future? What do you think? And I'm wrapping this video up now. So thanks so much for sticking around and watching. And have you read any of these books? Let me know, and have a great week.